Where are you going? Where are you going?
No, no, no. The wire was slightly twisted, so might as well relieve all the stress in the wire to prolong the life.
Great. Let me just put earphone. We are going. We will discuss some Rajanga sir interview technical questions. Okay.
Sure, sure, sure.
I maybe I'm having some couple of questions. Because of occupancy in college thing, na. Because I'm in college, that's why I am not able to put prayer on a question on a prayer basis.
Okay.
Okay. So I think which question I should start from.
I think most of the people's interviews are over, so they either have a yes or no right now, which is why not many are showing up. I think only somehow you are left. Like either I'm pretty sure you have slipped your system and they don't even know that you're pending.
Like I didn't go.
No, no. So basically, something must have happened,
Uh,
and somehow they think that your interview is over because they'll definitely never take so long.
yeah. But yeah, I think God is giving me so much time to make myself
Prepared
prepared. Yeah.
or prepare yourself, basically.
Yeah. So I think we have discussed. So I want to discuss starting with temperature at evaporator coil. If he asks temperature at evaporator coil, what should I answer? What will be your answer? What would you have given answer?
So temperature at the evaporator coil, I think was that right? Minus 18 to minus 20.
Only this much you would have told
No, he would have not asked directly this. He would have said explain full VCRS.
after explaining full VCRS. Just I am asking you.
So in that case, I would actually go ahead and learn the temperatures of everything, temperature and pressure of all.
Okay. So actually, the temperature is generally minus 18 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius, but it depends on the refrigerant, which refrigerant we are using, and also it depends on the suction pressure of compressor. Okay,
Hmm.
that what will be the
Also, one more thing is if you see the sensible bulb, right?
sensing bulb.
Yes, yes, the sensing bulb that depends like based on your ambient temperature around in real life.
Mhm.
It will tweak your thermal expansion valve, so just enough expansion takes place so that it never freezes the evaporator side or it never is less impactful on that. So this minus to minus 18 to minus 20 might be for one set of conditions, but if I go to some cold area it might change.
Okay.
If I go to some warm area it might change.
And when he asked, actually I am telling the answer of one guy who had given the same answer, and
Hmm.
then he asked, can you know tell me the refrigerant for particular refrigerant, what is the temperature? Then he said, in a case of refrigerant R134A, the temperature at evaporator coil is minus 26 degrees Celsius and pressure 1 bar, and the temperature at condenser coil, it's 30 degrees Celsius and pressure is 7.7 bar. Okay.
Hmm.
So he told that answer and I have written it. I hope if I will give the same answer, maybe
But some people were mentioning around 80 or something, right? After compressor.
80 bar pressure.
No,
No,
no, degrees.
80 degrees. No, no, he had studied about like found some particular
You have to
data.
definitely check out these values then.
You
Basically,
know, I have to cross check.
compressor, condenser,
I'm
thermal expansion valve, and evaporator, temperature, as well as the pressure.
I will cross check
Maybe
and
Sandy can tell us something on this, but maybe Sandy will give us more on what is on the ship. This has
yeah,
to be in general, actually.
yes. And what are the refrigerant we use on ship? And in a case of domestic refrigerator, there is two parts, that freezer part and the normal part. Okay,
Hmm.
in a case of freezer part, its degrees its temperature is minus 18 degrees Celsius to minus 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, and for normal part where vegetable and other
Hmm.
things put, it is 4 degrees Celsius. Okay.
So you're saying the temperature of the freezer is minus 18?
to minus 20 degrees Celsius. In a case
No,
of
the
the
temperature of the evaporator coil or the freezer temperature?
temperature at the freezer, yeah, freezer, in freezer there is also coil, na, evaporator coil. If you see in a case of freezer, the lining
Yeah.
over the
So
box,
we're
that
talking
is,
about that, not the temperature of the freezer, what it is being maintained.
yeah.
Because that doesn't go to minus 20. That is somewhere around -5, -7 maximum in the house fridge.
Here I have to write
So
a
I'm
cross
talking
check.
about the temperature of the space, okay? So imagine the freezer space.
Temperature in a freezer, the temperature of evaporator coil, I think
Okay, of
that
the
is only.
coil it can go to -20, etc. But
uh,
the space will not cross -10, etc. In a normal domestic household fridge.
don't know about that, yeah. I think I cross check, because in a case if we are considering that the temperature of evaporator coil is minus 80 degrees Celsius, then the freezer should be also approx 1 2 degrees Celsius less, or not very much less, okay,
Hmm.
because it
Because
is equal.
maybe it has the capability to go to these extents,
Mm,
but it doesn't go to the extent because maybe we are curtailing it from 100% performance. Because I don't know,
yeah.
at least my fridge, the maximum setting that it has from higher is -5.
Okay, I have written in cross check. Now the second question is air compressor and multi-stage compressor.
Hmm.
What is this? Compressor and single stage compressor and multi-stage compressor should be like this, na? Question.
Yeah, so basically he'll say like he'll say first of all tell me what are air compressors,
Hmm.
some different types of air compressors,
Okay.
and then they'll say now
Hmm.
explain what is a single. Actually, if it's Braganza, you only have to start explaining this. He'll not tell you explain.
Hmm.
If it's Oberoi or someone else, then you can
It's a Brajanga sir
okay,
questions. Okay.
Braganza, then might as well directly start also mentioning that what is the single stage, multi-stage, and how it is beneficial with the work done, all of that stuff. If you can mention with graph, even better.
So compressor is used for compressing the fluid, compressing the gas particularly. Okay, and there are many type of compressors, single stage, multi-stage compressor. In a case of multi-stage compressor, we have intercoolers in before one compressor, and then after cooler after one compressor. I'm not able to like explain. If
Yeah,
you
so you can just mention like since if in case we have a single stage, I'll have my single compressor. Finally, if I need higher mass flow, I can cool down the hot air. So I'll have a cooler, or you can call it an after cooler in this stage where the single compressor is there. But in multi-stage compressors, what I will have is I'll have a compressor followed by my intercooler. It's called intercooler because it is in between of the two compression stages. Then I have my second stage of compression taking place, followed by which I have the aftercooler. So the aftercooler is going to come after your second stage of air compression. So you can mention this way.
okay, uh, note it down. I have to learn and formulate how should I actually explain. The
Hmm.
the next question is about marine exhaust gas turbocharger. Pardon me for
Okay.
that, but I know the concept, but
Hmm.
I still do not know, yes, how to explain in front of interviewer. Yes, herself. You can go ahead. Herself, you were.
You know the function of intercooler and aftercooler, like proper the way you have to explain it in the interview.
Like yeah, intercooler is used for intercooler, there is a water inside it, which cools the hot gas, and after
Yeah, but why exactly we are using like for intercooler? What is the purpose, and the aftercooler what is the purpose?
okay,
Cooling
intercool,
is the purpose, but what exactly is the word?
okay, so
So answer using graph.
okay, so intercooler is basically what does it decreases the temperature of the first stage compressed gas, and what it does then after, it helps in reducing volume and increasing density. So in a case of multi-stage compressor, we won't have to use a large bottle, large compressor. Okay.
Just explain it like that. The purpose for using the intercooler is that we have to reduce the work done. Like if you are continuously maintaining that 30 bar pressure, so that right, so we will be running the compressor continuously and it will be consuming more electricity. So you have to burn more fuel. That's the reason intercooler is there, just to reduce the work done.
So I was about to answer this question on why multi-stage compressor is more preferred. So then I would have answered because actually using multi-stage compressor reduces work done by the compressor. Okay, and power
Yeah,
consumption
right.
will be less.
Yeah, but if they ask you why you are using the intercooler, so the specific reason is that only that intercooler is used for reducing work done, and aftercooler is for decreasing the temperature and for the fire alarm.
What would you say, Avito, on this?
So fire hazard again for possible, but again you can also mention the same thing that we're trying to maximum.
It's a network issue from your side.
Yeah, I guess you want to say that aftercooler is for increasing the air mass density, right? If you are reducing the temperature, your density will increase, and which will lead to increasing mass of
As
the
our
air. So that's the
mass
true
density.
purpose,
But the
right? And also,
intercooler is also doing the same, na?
yeah, it is doing the same. But if you do you have that graph, PV graph
Yes,
for
I
the
have that.
multi-stage compressor?
Yes, I have.
So if you see in that, it approaches towards the isothermal curve at the constant pressure, right? So basically, it is reducing that work done. You can see that shaded portion.
Just a second.
Yeah, so it will be better if you explain it by the PV graph to the interviewer whenever it comes to multi-stage compressor.
That PV graph, na, in which
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah. It will be very easy for you.
see,
So you can see that slight X.
Avito
Actually,
network issue.
uh, intercooler saves the work done. And am I audible?
Excess area that is formed, which is the work that you're saving.
Hello, hello.
Yes, yes, you are audible. But I think Avito, you
Uh,
got some network issue. Your voice
intercooler,
is like,
intercooler reduces the final discharge air temperature, and thus helps in reducing air bottle size, and power to weight ratio also increases thereby.
final discharge air temperature reduces final discharge air temperature and
Yes, yes.
reduces air the,
Size of air bottle.
the size of
Yes,
air bottle.
And
and
also you can
it is
mention that
fitted.
it,
It is fitted
yeah,
in the
go on.
final stages of compression. Final stages.
Okay,
And
Avito.
also you can mention that in every stage we are eliminating the moisture, draining out the moisture. So when it goes to the engine, there won't be any condensation phenomena,
Yes,
right?
this is actually a valid point. Yes, agreed.
At every step we are using moisture. Oh, dryer,
No, no. In
dryer.
every stage we are draining out the moisture.
Ah,
So when it goes to the engine, there won't be any this condensation phenomena, right? So it won't damage the engine.
okay.
By corrosion, right? Now?
Yeah, yeah.
So for draining, for removing moisture, what we are using?
At every stage, whenever you are cooling the air, you are draining out some moisture, right? So there won't be any condensation phenomena. I'll
For
share the link with you of the YouTube channel that Clearly. Earlier it was Marine Etuda. I'll share that video with you. You will see that once.
Okay,
You will get very good
just
idea.
send na on group. Okay, I have to see that. Yeah, compressor concept
So
is my
this is
Yeah,
the
not
same
so.
drain that is later connected to the unloader, right?
Yes, yes. Drain is
The
fitted,
same
right?
small
Yes,
drain is connected to the unloader, and that's how they work with
yes.
that.
yeah, yeah.
It actually removes moisture, water, and excess oil.
Hmm.
Drainer. Okay.
No, drain.
All right. In that diagram also there was a drain, na? After what was the location of that drain?
After the after cooler.
All right. Coming to the next question. Marine exhaust gas turbocharger.
But both will have the smaller one, which is the intercooler, will also have the drain,
Hmm.
and the aftercooler will also have the drain, because if you see the unloader, there is four inputs.
Hmm.
So it has the drain of the lower this thing uh, on, I think on the top or on the bottom. I think on the top is the intercooler one and the bottom is the aftercooler one
Hmm.
on the unloader.
So basically, when air get cooled by intercooler, some moisture get condensed. Okay, that moisture is
Hmm.
being drained.
Yeah,
Harsha. Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right.
because keep in mind, the water of the intercooler and the air will never mix, because if they mix, that means the 30 bar air will come in contact with your water, which will explode your compressor body or the intercooler enclosure.
Hmm.
So that is why we have the bursting disc. So whatever is being drained is whatever is being condensed from the air itself. The water of the intercooler and aftercooler do not come in direct contact with the compressed air.
So then, how it is draining? From which hole the moisture is getting out from that intercooler
You have
bottle?
a drain and intercooler and aftercooler. If you see that video,
So
it will
that the
send
yeah,
on the video.
that drain directly connects with the pipe in which the hot air is flowing, hot compressed air. Maybe that is the only possibility. The pipe of drainer.
Yeah, you can see that.
All right. Uh, the next question is marine exhaust gas turbocharger. I know this much only. Okay. Uh, that exhaust gas turbocharger uses the exhaust gas of the IC engine and rotates the turbine, and again the enthalpy of the air is being used again to increase the scavenging efficiency by increasing the uh, temp, density of air.
Yeah,
I
yeah, correct, correct.
Yeah, you can say the mass density, or you can just say, you're feeding in with a slight pressure.
reading slide pressure.
See, just explained by two ways that if you want to increase the amount of air, there are two ways. That is one by pressurizing and second is by decreasing the temperature. Right? If you decrease the temperature, your density will increase. Right? So first of all, you pressurize it and then you decrease the temperature so that density increases, which will result into increase in mass.
Okay. Marine exhaust gas
But in the
turbocharger.
exhaust gas turbocharger, we don't have any cooler, right? Post the turbocharger.
Before turbine,
No, we have one cooler after the centrifugal blower to cool the air.
Actually, we have a intercooler after compressor.
anyone is
Yeah, yeah,
having
correct.
the diagram for that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Yes,
have,
I
but
will share it
it's
on
just
a.
rough diagram.
you can
I
share
will share it on
a
yes,
group.
yes, yes.
Yes, come on, let's do discuss on that. Avito, considering my communication skill and my comfortable and confidence in English from the starting day, it I felt that it somehow got enhanced. Okay, but still I feel that it is not enough. Okay, don't know why I'm feeling this while I presenting myself in today's project presentation. I tried to speak in English all the time, but at the same time I got up speaking Hindi. And
As of now, it's not too bad. This was quite smooth, like you're contemplating and thinking in English only.
contemplating new word.
It is not that bad right now, but I I'll suggest you to
So maybe it
listen
was just stress
one
that
pod,
kicked in.
you can listen one podcast. It is actually benefiting me.
Ritik, I have watched thousands of many podcasts, many web series, many unless until I that what I felt, only speaking English is helping me. Otherwise, watching English news day and night just feeding up my mind and get what only speaking English is helping me. Otherwise, no. And generally, what I find myself, if I am not prepared for some questions, and all of a sudden I have to think and speak in English for that, I lack. I literally lack, and I fumble, stammer, whatever this. Yes, Harshal.
Hmm.
You know what? I'll give you one advice. If you
Mm.
want to speak, I have attended one workshop. In that sir said, whenever you want to speak English, just try to express yourself. Don't think that you are speaking in English. Just think that yeah, मैं हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ ना, मैं ऐसे ही बोलूँगा और इंग्लिश को वैसे ही बोलना है, एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए जैसे तुम हिंदी में बोलते हो एक्सप्रेस करने वैसे इंग्लिश को भी वैसे
Yes,
एक्सप्रेस
yes.
करना है.
What Prince sir said, take out from your lungs, speak with conviction. Okay, okay, all right. take out from, take out it from your lung. Speak with conviction. You are going to speak. No, no, there is nothing like a rocket science in it. You can do it. You will. I know you will. Yes, sir. Let me also know that I can, and I will.
That is more like army people when they want to say Saudan and position and all of that.
Okay. Mm,
When they want to
mm,
motivate.
okay. Okay. And what I find, everyone except Prince sir, I speak English very comfortably. When Prince sir talks to me, what is that word? Beda garg.
Tomorrow will be your time to shine for the meeting.
Like,
Actually, I'm working with one of a course, and
hmm,
I'd like to share one experience.
hmm,
Sure, sure.
Actually, there was a presentation, and I was going to present that. I was also too nervous about it. But then the faculty of that particular subject, he told me one thing that think like the person who is in front of you is nothing, and you are wise. He said, think like he is nothing. This will definitely confidence give you confidence.
I can't think in front of Evito that is nothing. It would be
Yes, I
disgrace.
will. Yes,
Yes, it would be
I will be
disgrace.
quite fit.
You know,
No, for me it's okay. What about when Praneeth sir is there?
oh, no, no. Me and Prince sir was about to go in school, and we were about to like Prince sir said, "I will ask you to speak, and you are going to speak in English." Okay, thank God that day a very stormy, rainy came and I got saved. But what I prepared that I then before evening I was saying that I got motivated and said to Prince sir, "Sir, first you speak, then I will speak. We will give our best." Prince sir was like, "साला अपने में हमको गिर रहा है." He's also thinking like me. Okay. So I decided I frame the things what I am going to speak about experience of my speaking English, but that didn't happen. I think I would have forced Prince sir that let's go other day, but I actually didn't wanted to go anyway. So guys, any other uh, tips you want to share? I like Rutik tips, but I will think only in my mind. I will not.
What is that channel? There's one English channel.
Vian, Palki Sharma
No, no,
Upadhyay.
no, no. That teacher came on this thing also, Maheshwari, that channel. Mahesh.
Sandeep Maheshwari.
Dear
Yeah,
sir,
but no,
He
Sandeep from
might.
Maheshwari has that show.
BM biceps. BM biceps.
No, 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 that girl.
the,
Uh,
Of that
there's
Ranveer
one
Alawadia.
English speaking. I think it's something with A maybe.
Yeah, that girl who was correcting pronunciation of
Who
some.
yeah, yeah, she makes some shots like sometimes you don't keep on saying like very good, very bad,
Mhm.
very dangerous. You have to say like crucial,
Hmm.
very good, like fabulous. Like stop keeping on saying like very. So some many important tips that we were given like to try and make your English slightly better. But what the hell was her name now?
No. But I got very much less time. I can't go to her channel and take
Not
input from her.
Suhanisha. Alina Rise. Okay, okay. Speak English with confidence. Episode 40 it is.
All right. From the childhood, we are learning English language, and we are not at good in Hindi. In typical words, if Hindi will be spoken to us, we will not going to understand that. But still, since in you know the, this what it shows that learning from books doesn't give you so much that they are speaking. Anyway. I am very bad at concluding the things. I am very bad. Anyway, let's move with the next question before.
And tomorrow is your interview?
Don't say it, Baba. Every day I check my mail. Thank God, God given me one more day, yaar. If I don't pass in, yaar, it will drastically decrease my credibility also. Anyway, the prestigious pressure. All right, yeah. Huh. So the next question we are going to discuss. Okay.
Perfection,
Huh.
perfection.
You know,
Yeah, tell me.
the next question is where is compressed air used?
Hmm.
To start the main engine.
To starting the engine, one of the example.
So
Nice.
if you mention starting the engine at what pressure?
30 bar pressure.
30 bar.
Correct.
Thanks to Dreamer package. And any
No,
other?
but I'm just saying like if you're mentioning where it is used, you should know how it is used also. So specify, at what pressure am I starting it? Because otherwise you might say like at 1 bar or something, then matlab you're just bluffing on that.
Akhil brother has to say something. Yes.
Yeah, let's see what he has to say.
Bro, is it 30 bar pressure for every engine or this evaporator? Does it depends on the
From
engines?
where evaporator comes?
In evaporator, in previous interviews, there was everyone were saying it is 20 degree temperature of evaporator. Everyone were saying like 20 degree Celsius, like that
Minus
all, right?
20 degrees Celsius.
Minus 20 degree, and one guy cracked by saying it depends on the refrigerant. So
See, the moment you say it depends on the refrigerant, you're taking like a very safe diplomatic answer. So that is
yeah,
like how you should answer
so
like
we
all
can't
history
conclude
papers.
that. I'm asking, shall we conclude by saying to start engine we need 30 bar pressure? Is it constant for everything?
On board ship to start the main engine we need 30 bar pressure.
Okay, for every engine it is 30 bar.
No, not at all. On
See,
board ship.
the last
No,
time,
no, for marine engines.
yeah, most likely it'll be somewhere around the magnitude of 30 bar only because as Organ sir had mentioned in his last session, there has been a gradual shift in the stroke length of your engine. From I think he was mentioning the G class, K class, whatever that. So the stroke length has kept on getting larger for more power. So I'm not sure whether older engines will also need 30 bar or the current engines which are being used only those use the 30 bar. So that's one thing that we'll have to find out whether slightly previous version of engines were also on the 30 bar scale.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay. So the first example is to starting the engine. To starting main engine on board ship, we use 30 bar air pressure. Okay. Uh, and the second example is to kick start the engine general for kick. Hmm? Is it
That's
correct?
the same. No, that's the same. If you are sending it to the main engine, you are cranking it, right?
To crank the engine. To crack. To
That
kick.
is
Yeah,
starting air only. What is the starting air doing then?
yeah, yeah. That's the same thing.
Same thing, na? Okay.
Also we can say it is used. Compressed air is used for emergency fire pump. Am I right?
For what?
Emergency fire pump. Brunch sir actually told it is outside engine room.
No,
Emer-
no, that's the example of centrifugal pump, right? There we don't use this compressed air. That emergency fire pump is situated out of the engine room,
okay. All right.
And
and fire
for
and
other
gas pump is
applications,
inside the engine room.
and for other
Okay,
applications like drilling, pressurized water jet cleaning, etc.
Yeah, for cleaning and all that stuff, you can use the compressed air. That that
one
yes,
pump which actually uses compressor is the Wilden pump, the diaphragm based pump.
Yes, yes, yes. Exactly.
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
correct.
say this is heavily used during bunkering. So when bunkering, I need a pump which is available right there. There's no chance of going to put it in a plug because then you have a problem of electrical shock and other things that way. So you have your compressed air coming to your Wilden pump. If there's an oil spill, immediately you can start the pump and uh, pour the oil into your drip pan or whatever that is there right there. So that is another place where compressed air can be used. Apart from that, I think some of the tools also use it, right? Like some of the bolt tighteners and all of that stuff.
Pneumatic tools for
Actually,
cleaning
Okay,
drilling
purpose.
pneumatic tools could
pneumatic
be a
tool.
better word.
Pneumatic tools for cleaning purpose, for bolting,
Hmm.
for fixing the bolts, fastening the bolt. Okay. So, but
There should be something else I feel that we are missing maybe.
Also, it is used for cleaning the cargo hold after.
Okay.
Yeah,
that is we are talking about now pneumatic tools for cleaning purpose. Pneumatic tools for cleaning
No, no,
purpose.
one is in tools means it is creating a rotational motion. What he's talking about is you just take air and blow it out. Like imagine compressed air, those cans come, right? Like you just blow out any sort of dust and all that. He's talking about that,
That is also
not a tool.
pneumatically
yeah,
controlled. La.
No, that is just like a air pipe with a nozzle and you're just blowing. No kind of tool attachment at the end.
Okay.
Maybe something on generators. Does any of the other components like freshwater purifiers, do they need anything on this? I'm not sure.
yeah. It is used on generator as well.
So even that will have the starting. So you can mention starting for main
Yeah,
engine
yeah.
and generator.
Yeah, generators also need starting now. For generator, the prime mover is auxiliary engine. Is it or
Hmm.
not? So at where generator require the compressed air?
No,
That
when
prime
we say generator, we are talking about the entire structure. So one full generator means you have your
auxiliary
engine
engine.
part and your and plus your alternator part. So this whole thing we are calling generator.
Mm, correct. Now we this question we have discussed many times, but would like to discuss this again. Okay, why four stroke used as auxiliary engine? Uh, what I know till now, let me explain. Since auxiliary engine is used for starting the generators, and it is not a bidirectional engine as we require for two for main engine. This much I know. And power to weight ratio of auxiliary engine is less than the main engine, is it? And these 3 points will be
So that becomes a drawback, right? So how is this giving you any sort of benefit? As of now, you've only said why it should
yeah,
not be
the
used. Can you
earlier
explain the why it should be used?
actually earlier we have discussed why two stroke is used as why two stroke engine is used as main engine and four stroke as auxiliary engine. Then we discussed about that two stroke is bidirectional. We need to move the ship forward and backward. That's why
Hmm.
it help. Power to weight ratio of two stroke is more because it has to two stroke engine is high speed engine because it consists of less moving parts, and at the same time power to weight ratio is high for two stroke engine, and so it has to burn the fuel, that is heavy fuel oil, for a longer period of time. That's why two stroke is more preferable in a case of main engine and four stroke in a case of auxiliary engine. But if my question is particularly why four stroke is used as an auxiliary engine, what should I say?
I think mainly we can talk about the fact that usually they say that four-stroke is more efficient, right? Because you have uh, a separate stroke given just for scavenging.
Yeah,
Second
better
stroke is
scavenging.
given for, yeah. So you have slightly better combustion because of that.
Mm.
So if you see now, my ship is at port. Let's say, for example, I'm at port for let's say 5 days. I still need my generator running to keep the power on. So that means in general, I'll be running the generator more than the main engine.
Mm.
Because even when my ship is on port, because some ports they give you like port power, but I think 90% if you're at anchor or something, you're using your own generators.
Yes, we use our own
So
generator.
if I keep on burning at a lower efficiency, it will cost me more.
So the first point will is better scavenging, better efficiency it gives.
Yeah.
Okay. The auxiliary, can I add this thing like four stroke? Since auxiliary engine burns the high quality fuel. Okay.
Only
Uh,
for starting part. Later it transitions.
okay. For little bit lesser period of time as compared to
Hmm.
longer burn high quality of fuel for longer period.
Okay.
Okay. For burning that we need, but in a case of four stroke diesel engine we need better compression ratio. In case of four stroke two stroke we can't say something about compression ratio. So,
No,
so
but sir mentioned we are not considering compression ratio because the RPM is higher, so it compensates for that.
okay. And but two stroke
So maybe
rpm is high.
that could be another important point. So now you're basically like cross connecting. So I have one huge main engine, number one, which has a long stroke, which I want for power.
Mm.
Now can I have another two-stroke engine for my auxiliary? I'll have more additional larger engines over there. So I have a four-stroke, because in the four-stroke I can have a smaller amount of stroke.
Mm.
But to compensate for this, I'm having the higher RPM.
No, two stroke engine is basically higher rpm engine. Higher rpm means high speed.
No, two-stroke is not high speed in the engine.
It's to yesterday we were discussing with the Assis Dayanand,
Hmm.
and I searched, and I let me send the answer for that. Okay, just read first two three lines of that. Okay.
Because in
uh,
general the generators are more higher RPM.
uh, Generator maybe, but auxiliary.
Let's have a look in general then.
Okay,
Guys,
I have said.
just wanted to clear one thing. I have asked it to Arvind sir in the last session, right? So he explained. See, I was also confused in this. If you compare the petrol and the diesel engine, apart from the two-stroke and four-stroke, right? So petrol engine will have lesser compression ratio and diesel engine will have more compression ratio.
Yeah.
Mm.
So on ship, two-stroke engine we are considering it as a diesel engine, right? In reverse package also. So that's why
Four stroke is
it has
also a
the
diesel
higher
engine.
compression stroke.
Four stroke is also a diesel engine on ship.
Yeah, that is also one thing, but I'm just explaining it in the general way. If it is two-stroke diesel engine and four-stroke petrol engine, so petrol engine will have higher RPM because the compression ratio will be less. It depends upon the compression ratio. What is the compression ratio of the engine? That
The
will decide the RPM.
Let me write this question. I will cross it. Does RPM compression ratio depend on RPM of the engine? Does compression ratio depends on
No. If the
what?
compression ratio is less, your RPM will be more. If your
So,
compression ratio is more, your RPM will be less.
okay. I will cross check on this because I have no idea about
Yeah.
this. Does
This
CR
is
depends
the same
on?
part, right? We are trying to increase power. That's the same thing what is mentioned that day in the plan. So
Yeah.
what is your compression ratio is your L value. In plan PLAN,
Correct.
Now
L
I
is your
remember. Yeah.
L is your stroke length, which means compression ratio because larger volume. So if
Right.
L is becoming smaller, one more from that full list you have to increase. So N you can increase,
Yeah.
which is RPM,
Okay.
to
Correct.
keep the
So
P
Uh,
more or less constant.
Also, Harshal, can we say if compression ratio is less, piston actually takes less distance to travel, so the RPM is high. Am I right?
Correct. Correct. Compression ratio is less.
Okay.
That means the piston will travel less. So
see,
RPM will be more. If you see.
See, I have to cross you, all of you. I am very much clear about that. The two-stroke engine has high RPM. It's a high-speed engine. I have sent the question and answer of that question. Please read on that. Now I will discuss on that. Two-stroke engine has generally have longer stroke. Am I correct
No,
or?
if you see in the RS Kurmi gas, it is mentioned, it is not taking it as a two-stroke and four-stroke, it is just comparing petrol and diesel engine,
Oh,
or four-stroke or two-stroke engine, right? If you take it two-stroke and four-stroke, it is given in the RS Kurmi as well that two-stroke engine is has the less compression ratio than four-stroke engine. So the thermal efficiency of two-stroke engine is less than four-stroke engine. So if you are comparing two-stroke and four-stroke, and you are comparing diesel and petrol, you will have different compression ratio. So you have to think that way.
Harshal, I have studied a lot of article on that. In the case of four-stroke, two-stroke, the compression ratio, we can't talk about the compression ratio comparison. It depends on very many factors. Okay, in the case of diesel petrol, we generally compare compression ratio because of the fuel burn. In the case of diesel, we burn by fuel injector with the high temperature and high pressure. That's why we need a larger compression ratio. In the case of petrol, yeah, we ignite the fuel by spark engine, so there is no need of having a high compression ratio. Compression ratio is nothing but the volume at TDC upon volume at BDC. Okay, so
No, volume at BDC upon volume at TDC.
what I said opposite. My pardon me. Volume at BDC upon volume at TDC. Volume at TDC is clearance volume. The less clearance volume, the more will be compression. So the two factor will be considering. You can't say that.
If you if you see what Avito said,
Hmm,
right, the L that is the strokeless, which is the volume at BDC,
okay,
right? I think it's very confusing right now. We should ask this to someone who is more experienced,
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
I
Coming
It is
was
mentioned
going
in
to
the RS
mention on
Kurmi
that
also.
question,
coming
just
to
having more experience.
coming to Avito explanation. Avito talked about indicator horsepower formula. Okay, that is
Yeah,
plan upon 450 that is constant. Okay, that L is here length of piston. Okay, so length of piston is will increase, indicated horsepower will increase, that is power will increase. That power is increasing doesn't mean the engine speed is increasing. It is means like that.
no, it doesn't mean like that.
Okay, that
Uh,
L and A, Avito said in a case of plan, L and A, L length into area will become the volume. Okay, so volume, suppose that volume at BDC. So volume will increase, so then compression ratio will increase. Okay, compression
correct.
ratio will increase means power output will increase. Now I am going to search in which but power to weight ratio of two stroke engine is more. Okay, for the same size, we have to note that for the same weight of the engine, sorry, for same weight of the engine. Am I right, Harsha?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. So in general,
So
power
one thing is, when you say same size, what we'll have to try and compare is,
for same
there
weight,
are two factors. No, no, is it weight or is it the cc of the engine?
power
So
to
let's say my two stroke is burning in volume 10 ml of whatever cc size. So is the same size 10 ml of four stroke engine going to be more heavier, or are we talking in terms of weight?
no, as far as I know, if we are comparing power to weight ratio, one the down thing we need to make constant. Like for we have also heard about for the same compression ratio, the efficiency of auto cycle is more. Okay, so applying this analogy, power to weight ratio means if the weight of the both engine and weight is loosely can be say the size of the engine. Okay,
Hmm.
if the size of the engine is same, then a two stroke will have higher
More
power,
power,
more
yeah.
power. Okay, and also two stroke engine has high RPM. And the high RPM concept, let me state that why two-stroke engine has high RPM. Two-stroke engine tends to have higher engine speed than four-stroke engine. This is because two-stroke engine have simpler design with fewer moving parts, which allows them to complete a full combustion in every two-stroke. Okay, so the main thing we can catch here that we are getting the engine revolution in every two-stroke. In a case of
Yeah.
four-stroke, we are getting a after four-stroke we are getting that engine revolution. That's the crane.
Okay.
So these two factors are there. That is comprehending. That is what is the
But
correct?
maybe the fact that you're talking about the RPM being higher
Hmm.
is in the case when they are the same size. Because if I have my stroke length this huge in the main engine and this much on the auxiliary engine, how can you expect this piston to go that fast in the same time that this can go here?
Right.
So
See,
maybe
if
it
you see,
can be
it
faster
is
at the same size.
If
just wanted to ask one thing.
same size,
Can there be four-stroke petrol engine?
why not? What's the problem in it?
And can there be two-stroke diesel engine?
Of course,
So just tell me, Gan, where will be the compression ratio more?
in a engine, for sure, in a diesel engine.
But you just said that two-stroke engine will have lesser compression ratio.
I said thousand times that in a case of two-stroke, four-stroke, we can't compare compression ratio. In a case of petrol, diesel, we can only compare compression ratio. Don't,
That's
sorry, brother, I am
that.
coming in the conviction mode.
Gan.
No, no,
Okay.
no, no.
You just
You're going right. That's the main point. That's my main point. Is if you are
Okay, this
comparing
is great.
diesel and
This is
petrol,
great. We'll get the answer
right?
perfectly very shortly. We're using our
I
resources.
think
Okay.
I think we should ask this to someone more experienced than us.
Yeah, chief
This is
engineer
very
is here present.
contradicting.
I am writing 2 point. Does CR depends
Uh,
on RPM of engine, and then for the same size, for the same size or what? For the same size engine RPM comparison. Okay. uh, why we say two stroke engine is high RPM? If we are considering same size, then it will be high RPM, or in a case of any time,
General.
no, general. Okay. Or let me write for the same size or in general.
Jan,
Wha-
what if we said, what if we say if someone asks us which will have more compression ratio, we can say it like that. It depends on what it burns inside. If it
Correct.
burns
That
petrol,
will
it
be
will have
my
less compression ratio than
that is
diesel.
no, I am
yes, actually, this would be better answer.
Right?
like
Because
So
that's what I'm
actually, this is
explaining
an
to you.
extremely good question.
hmm,
Let's say,
Yeah.
for example, I have my engine. I cannot change the compression ratio, right? My TDC and BDC is fixed, volume is fixed.
Correct.
So when I switch from diesel to heavy fuel oil, do I have a reduction in RPM or increase in RPM?
no, no, that is the same question, na? What will happen if you use petrol in a case of diesel engine? Knocking, okay. Uh, if we if we use diesel in a case of petrol engine, engine will not start at all because diesel will go through carburetor and something like this. Yeah, I forget the answer. I am sorry. Anyone know the condition if we use a diesel in a case of petrol engine, petrol in a case of diesel engine? The correct answer I want to know. Kamlesh was very good at it. He explained like a makhan. You know. Okay.
Usually, the one which would be extremely bad is petrol and diesel because
See, let us conclude. Which one has higher ignition point? Which is more volatile? Let's talk about this. Gasol, petrol or diesel?
petrol is definitely more volatile because it's more
Petrol is
pure.
more volatile.
Okay. Which one has higher self ignition temperature?
Diesel.
Or is it petrol?
Higher self ignition temperature, no? Higher,
Yes,
not lower.
higher self ignition temperature. Harshal, you said wrong.
Higher self ignition temperature.
Is gasoline, is petrol. Yes, petrol is more volatile than diesel, but the
Correct, correct. Sorry,
okay. The self ignition temperature is higher in a case of petrol. Okay, so if petrol will be used in the in case of diesel, in a and so diesel engine generally have higher they compress
So
a
that
lot.
means
So so
the understanding will be
it
like
will
this.
burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will burn.
Hmm.
It will
Much before TDC, it will get its required compression ratio and burn.
it will have ignition delay and
In the diesel engine.
if we use petrol in a case of diesel engine, it will have a ignition delay. That is the main cause of knocking in a diesel engine. Am I correct? Let In this part, am I correct? In a case,
It
yeah.
will
Uh,
cause a premature ignition.
okay.
Sorry, premature combustion.
No, no, no. Rutik, I am coming to you. You said wrong according to me. Am I correct on this point that the
Okay.
knocking happens in a diesel engine due to ignition delay? We have solved many of the MCQs.
Okay.
Remember? Okay. So in a case of petrol, since it is having a high ignition temperature, high self ignition temperature, so when it will be compressed, if there is petrol, it will be compressed, and but it will not ignite at the point it should ignite. It will take some delay. Okay,
Because
that
temperature is slightly higher
Yes,
for
yes.
the
self ignition.
ignition temperature, as you mentioned.
Since there is no spark plug in that, when it is compressed, it won't ignite, and again it is compressed. Then even then it won't ignite. Then the fuel gets deposit, and once it reaches the compression and it reaches that ignition temperature, it suddenly burns off, and the whole thing will
Cause knocking.
cause knocking. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to say that having high self ignition temperature, I will write because I have concluded this according to with some concept. I am not very sure about it. Same time, I will read about it. Petrol, diesel, what actually happened and what I logic was using correct or not. Okay, don't rely on this. So
Makes sense.
uh, having high self ignition temperature, it is actually causing delay in ignition in a case of diesel engine using petrol. If we are using petrol, okay, so that is causing knocking. So we have discussed about using petrol in a case of diesel engine diesel engine. Now we'll discuss how the knocking is usually happening.
Diesel
Uh,
and petrol engine.
Diesel in petrol engine. Okay, so as we know, in a case of petrol engine, we have spark plug and carburetor. Okay, all right. And we have spark plug and carburetor. Okay, so anyhow, and it has less ignition temperature. So before ignited by spark, it will ignite much prior. Can ignite much prior because of having less ignition temperature. Is it so?
Yes,
But the compression ratio is
on the
low, so
compression
it'll
side.
not. Yeah, the
Yes,
compression
on
ratio is much lower, so it'll start immediately when the spark only comes.
yeah, yeah. Before it gets fully injected by the fuel, it spreads around. The air fuel mixture gets fully throughout the liner. It gets ignited, like in the small area itself. Yeah, do you guys get the point?
No.
Like in compression, how it happens in the diesel engine, actually, the compression. The air fuel mixture gets fully surrounded in the cylinder, and then
Okay.
it ignites. Hmm. So in case if in petrol engine, if diesel it's used, uh, the moment the compression ends and fuel is injected, and the spark plug is ignited, before it gets fully spread over the cylinder, it gets ignited. Like it won't happen fully also, and it will be an incomplete process. and the same happens. It happens to two or three, four cycles, and suddenly when the more amount of diesel gets settled in the cylinder, it will burst and causes knocking.
You just talk about using of diesel in case in petrol engine, no?
Yes, yes.
Can you give your explanation in concise way? What actually if what will be the effect on engine? Will it run or will it will be running while causing knocking and all? Can you
Causing won't happen. Causing it won't happen all in a sudden. Uh, it takes two to three power strokes like that.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
sure
fine. But
about that. I'm
after
just
2 to 3 power
saying.
I
strokes, what will
I
happen?
have just found an answer, and I solved many of the question on this, and I am very much sure about it. Okay, the conclusion, the
Okay.
answer is okay. Now my turn. In if we use diesel in a case of petrol engine will not run. That's the uh,
Slogan basically, the main
slogan,
point.
main point. Okay, and now we are going to discuss why engine will
Why?
not run. Engine will not run. See, if we people have logic and concepts behind that, we can conclude to the answer also. We can deduct answer what can happen. Like engine will not run. Okay, why not run? Why it will not run? Because petrol engine uses carburetor, and diesel is less volatile, so it will not mix with the air inside it, and the atomization will not happen to that extent. Okay, Rutik is Akhil. So it will not run. So the final conclusion is, so that's why combustion will not happen. Okay, combustion will not happen at all, and it will
But
not
then
run.
fuel injector is doing basically the same thing, making the fuel air
Yes, it
mixture.
won't
Uh,
burn,
can I
but at some case, at
How how
some point, it comes
how full
when the.
how fuel
Okay,
is
okay.
how fuel is atomizes in a case of petrol engine? Carburetor only atomizes,
Fuel
na?
and the air is mixed up.
Mixed up, na? So it comes from the carburetor, na?
Yeah.
And I have I let me read the answer.
Ritvik,
Okay,
Ritik.
before Ritik, I will read the answer.
Hmm.
Generally, petrol engine has carburetor system, and diesel is less volatile as compared to petrol. So it will not mix with the air in the carburetor. That is, atomized mixture of air and diesel will not happen, which will not produce any combustion inside the cylinder. In spite of having spark engine, spark plug, combustion is not happening. What do you think, guys? It is correct explanation, or we should acquire some more information on that?
See, the thing is, petrol and diesel are slightly different, but not so different that we'll say that completely zero mixing will take place.
But the conclusion is correct. I am 100%
So
sure.
this
Yeah,
might
Rutik.
be one point that will hinder your performance, but let's check out what Ritik has to mention about this.
Actually, as of I know, knocking is caused by autoignition of unburnt fuel.
There are
Uh,
various knocking, mechanical knocking, and
I may be
fuel
wrong
knocking.
here.
Fuel knocking. So in a case of
Uh,
engine will not, yes, got it. If we are using petrol in a case of, if we are using in diesel in a case of petrol engine, carburetor in a carburetor, that will not mix up properly, and combustion will not happen. In spite, it will cause mechanical knocking. Okay, and
it is
in
actually a premature combustion of unburnt fuel.
you think, okay, let me
Also, we
write it.
call also we call it a detonation. Am I right?
Detonation generally occurs at the starting before ignition delay. Okay,
Sorry, pinking.
what?
Pinking.
Pink.
PINK?
Yeah, pinking or
Yes.
detonation is same thing. Yeah,
Pinking
That's
and
the word
knocking
I'm
is same
hearing for
thing.
the first time.
Pinky.
For engine pinking, the industry term for engine knocking. Very good to know.
It is due to the quality of fuel only it happens, like if there is less cetane number or octane number, then only the detonation occurs because of the fuel only. Krutik. Yes.
Uh, yes, yes.
Premature combustion. Combustion. इसको क्वेश्चन मार्क लगा लेते हैं. Let me write question mark on this. And Avito, when you were present, we didn't discuss any time this answer, na? This
No, no, we
question.
never we never went into this extreme basic of two stroke, four stroke. How what will happen if petrol is here and there.
Oh God. Yeah, Rutik, please speak. No problem.
Yes, as of I have written notes, I have written that knocking is an internal combustion engine is an sharp sound caused by premature combustion of air fuel mixture in the cylinder.
Here,
Not only pre, it can be even delay.
delay.
It can be, yes, yes,
As long
it can
as
be.
it is
Improper
on
combustion.
time means it will start knocking. Yeah,
Improper combustion.
And
at the wrong time.
and to prevent it, we can raise the compression ratio so that thermal efficiency will be we can reduce delay period.
This is all in normal engine knocking, prevention when you're using the correct fuel in the correct engine. Now we are using the wrong fuel in the wrong engine, so that is what we have to try and figure out what the hell
Actually,
is
there
happening.
was a MCQ also in RSM related to your question.
Hmm.
Have
What did
anyone?
they have to say?
What? That's
Wait a minute, I'll check it.
we have to be very perfect about every answer. Otherwise, Prajanga sir, even a little, Harshit got rejected by one question. He asked that same the temperature of the evaporator
No,
coil
Google
and
is saying that basically we'll be playing on the fact that diesel is basically more dense compared to petrol.
dense means diesel.
Dense or maybe more viscous, whatever they mean by
That's
that.
why it is making less. It is making it less volatile, na? Less volatile, na?
They're saying
That's
it'll
why
clog.
it is.
They're saying it'll clog. They're not even talking about the mixing. They're
No, no.
saying it'll
Yes, yes.
clog
Yes,
whatever
correct.
is there.
It is correct analogy.
Since
Like
since
that's why
you are
it
saying
will
that
not mix
Stop.
properly. Yeah, mix properly
can I
with air
Hmm.
inside carburetor.
uh, Abhito, actually, since you are saying that it is dense, so it is less volatile as Gyan said.
Hmm.
So there is a chances of premature, sorry, unburnt fuel mixture
Hmm.
Hmm.
at the end of the compression stroke.
But no, but what Google is saying here is since it is so dense,
Hmm.
they are saying that it will not even be able to make it through the nozzles. Because imagine this, I have one specific nozzle size which is tuned for petrol.
Yeah.
So if I put something else larger than that, it will not go in that.
Okay. So one people was saying it will have mature, premature combustion. That is wrong. Engine will not run and it will cause mechanical knocking. Why mechanical knocking? Because it will not able to flow through the new nozzle into the cylinder. If it is not able to flow through the nozzle, there will be some vibration, something. That is the only mechanical knocking, na?
But actually, Gyan, this is what I said. It is provided by Pranit sir actually.
Prince, Prince, uh, what said Prince sir? What Prince sir said particularly?
That premature combustion.
No, what we are discussing, what we were discussing about that two question, that what will happen if we use petrol in a case of diesel engine and diesel in a case of petrol engine. So we discussed that if we use diesel in a case of petrol engine, since petrol consists of carburetor, so in a case of carburetor there will be mixture happens generally, fuel and air. Since uh, diesel is less volatile, more denser, so it will clog. Even will it will not manage to come through the nozzle into cylinder, come via nozzle into the cylinder. So engine will not run. There is chance of mechanical knocking. Okay, and premature combustion, improper combustion, ignition lagging combustion. It all comes in the case of fuel knocking. Knocking is also of two types: fuel knocking, mechanical knocking. If you learn from Dreamer package.
Yes, it is right.
Okay. Hmm. So I think we should move with that, and I will find the particular and framed answer also about this. If, what we
Yes,
have
yes.
discussed.
Without any artifacts.
Okay.
Yes,
So
actually, I have also one doubt related to one question. Uh,
yes,
that what is electrical engine? So can we say it is a camless engine?
electronic or electrical engine.
Electrical or electronic engine. So can we say it is a
Is that
camless engine?
the what they call the ME engine?
There are
Uh,
two types of engine: conventional and now electrical engine. What is that full
because
form?
in yes,
Using
in camless engine,
solenoids or whatever, right?
uh,
Solenoid,
we in
solenoid
camless
valve.
engine we use electromagnetic actuators for opening and closing of valves. So maybe we can say, can we say?
See, solenoid is electronic type of valve that is controlled by solenoid is also valve that is controlled electronically. Am I right?
Yes, solenoid is that electromagnet is the same thing. So solenoid is basically working on the principle of electromagnetism.
Electromagnetism working on the principle of
See,
electron.
how does the solenoid work? You have a coil over here,
Hmm.
like a coil over here,
Hmm.
and you have the rod.
Hmm.
So when this becomes a magnet by passing current, it sucks the rod into this.
Hmm.
So whatever it is blocking will get either pushed or pulled.
Hmm. Making sense.
So I
So,
guess in
Rotik,
that case,
you write your question on group. There is some marine engineer guy, and there is some, and I think Jack is here.
Actually, this question was asked for one of my friend who is selected in BSN. So I was
He
also quite confused about it.
he was aspiring GME candidate.
Yes, yes.
Jack, I think Jack
but most
is the
likely
correct
looks like
person.
yes.
So can we say camless engine is an actually an electrical engine or electronic engine?
Look, Jack,
Jack got
yes,
his raised hand.
yeah,
Okay.
he is the right guy to answer
What
that.
was the question? Reminded. What was the
What is
question? Mind
electrical or
me.
electronic engine?
Electrical and electronic. Electrical engine. MC and ME. Multiplex. ME engine.
What? Rutik, yeah, go speak up. Don't need to raise hand if people is less.
No. Yes, sorry.
Jack, what Jack said, I didn't heard. Anyone heard?
He mentioned something regarding MC engine and ME
Yeah.
engine.
What he said?
See, the thing is
So Jack, can you
that ME
elaborate on
engines
both
are
of them?
now
Like,
being developed by Artiflex and BMW. It was made by, he just named the company, Artiflex and BMW. They made this engines, ME engines, which are camless engines, where the valves are working by the 300 bar oil pressure.
okay, so you're saying based on oil pressure, like how the hydraulic fuel pump works, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it's in
But the
your hands
question is,
when you
but
have
the
to release
question
the oil.
is, I'm using oil to open up the this thing, fuel pump. But the
Yeah,
oil to send the oil at the correct time, I need a solenoid valve.
correct.
So maybe that comes back to what Rutik was saying that finally it comes down to electromagnetism only getting rid of the cam. Even though oil is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Yes,
correct.
yes.
object
It is
that is
actually
doing the
camless
work,
engine.
the,
I also
the
discussed it
solenoid is telling
with my
when the oil should go, when the oil should stop.
Yeah, correct.
yes. I also discussed that question with my brother. He also said the same thing that it is actually a camless engine. So I thought maybe we can put it in a Dreamers group question.
Yeah, put it na.
also these engines
see
are
see
based.
I have to make an announcement that this Saturday or Sunday, Arvind sir,
Sunday.
Arvind sir is going to take session. So I have to make announce that if
Oh,
anyone
this
have an,
Sunday.
yeah, this Sunday, if anyone has some sorts of question, they can write in the group, and I will forward him on the prayer basis. Okay, but where you have to make sure, everyone have to make sure that they should come to again ask their question. Okay.
Yeah, and if possible, maybe you. Oh, but if you want recording, that's the only problem. The 40-minute thing messes up the whole thing otherwise.
See, and also since they upload by themselves on YouTube, okay. So Arvind sir recording. Uh, so if I record also, if I upload on YouTube, I will get copyright. Maybe, and they maybe don't like it.
You can actually ask with Arvind sir. Ask to Arvind sir. Can I put it on YouTube?
No, no, Arvind sir has no stake in it. It all controlled by manager. Okay. So I will be also recording the session. Okay. If I present in that. Otherwise, I try to provide you the recordings of the session by asking manager. Every time I have provided the recordings of the session. That Prince Arvind sir session is uh, pro Zoom Pro session. It has no time limit. Okay.
Mm.
Um, it's Zoom Pro session. All of a sudden, he got cut last time, but it has Zoom Pro session. Okay,
Okay, so
and
maybe that's not related to the 40-minute glitch then.
no, no, it has only with me problem that whenever I conduct 40-minute Zoom session, I get only
Hmm.
40 minutes. Okay, so coming to the next question, and also you also asked one question: what is electrical engine and what is electronic engine? But this
No, there will be no question like electrical and electronic. It will be mechanical and electronic.
there can be question like what is electrical device and what is electronic device. It can be or not.
Yeah, might be.
It might be.
Because
So
electrical is works on AC and electronics works on DC.
that's a good question. What is, that's a good answer. And also electronic devices works on very less amount of current, very less ampere current. Okay, and electrical components, electrical devices works on higher current. Okay, is it?
So basically, we can say when you have your power coming in, you'll have your transformer converting it into a lower voltage and DC current. So after that, you'll have basically all of your electronic components, and then maybe again another transformer, or if not, the rest of the components like household, etc. Those will be all electrical.
Okay, which works, which requires higher voltage, higher current, which requires higher current, higher voltage. Electronic component,
Electricals.
uh, electronic components requires lower voltage, lower, you know, lower current. Current is the right word to mention
Yes.
the, yeah, lower current. And Jack says that electrical generally works on AC and electronics works on DC. That is very correct, that electronic works on DC, runs on via DC current. Okay, that is very correct. But sometimes electrical component also works on DC, na? It is not like that. But for electronic, it works on DC only. Jack.
So one thing is the home computer that we have.
Mm.
Would we say that it's electrical or electronic? Electronic, right?
That the motherboard is having a
It's
certain,
an electronic device. It's an electronic device. It has many converters inside. When you
yeah.
start from the power car, it converts them into DC by the GMP box. I didn't remember the name.
It's
That
called
box
a
converts to DC.
SMPS, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That box, power car box.
Hmm.
All right. So moving to the
It
next
converts
question.
into DC and it's applied to it.
I didn't get you, but I don't think it is so important for me to get you this question right now. Okay, all right. So I am just leaving it. I'm not asking you again. Okay. So the next question is, hmm, We have discussed 4-stroke and 2-stroke. Faraday's law we have discussed many times. AC current, laws of thermodynamics. How about discussing laws of thermodynamics, guys?
Okay.
Okay. So the first I will ask everyone how many laws of thermodynamics.
Totally four.
Jack says 4. Anyone? Any other?
It is actually three laws. Zero, first, second. But first law consists of Clausius and Kelvin Planck statements.
No. Actually, Jack is right. It is 4 law of the thermodynamics. The third law of thermodynamics we don't talk about. That is the law of having a absolute crystal structure, something like this. Am I right, Jack? That the third law
Yeah.
that the it will the entropy will become zero if we make the
States
temperature
that the
some
entropy of a system at absolute zero is a well-defined constant.
like at 0 Kelvin the entropy of a system will become 0 0 sorry
Oh,
minus
this one constant.
minus 273 Kelvin the
Point one
entropy
four. Don't forget the
uh,
point 0.14.
0.14 the entropy will become 0. Is it something like that only? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, these are the simple
Uh,
question, but
can
the
you can you mention that law name? I will note it.
it is
Third law
third
of
law of thermodynamics.
thermodynamics, entropy at absolute zero.
Okay.
Third law of thermodynamics states that the entropy of a system at absolute zero is constant, or it is impossible for a process to bring the entropy of a given system to zero in a finite number of operations.
Yeah, sir. Correct. Third law.
Now that we have come to entropy, can someone tell me what is the difference between entropy and enthalpy?
Starting with me, and entropy is the degree of randomness. Okay, and the formula for entropy is q reversible by T temperature, and enthalpy is nothing but the heat energy consists by a system, uh, and it is ncp delta t, heat enthalpy.
No, actually, enthalpy is equal to product of pressure and volume and internal energy of a system.
U plus PV.
Ah, yes.
U
Right.
plus Pb is also ncv delta t is internal energy, and ncp delta t is heat enthalpy. At some point of time I was very good in thermodynamics. From the couple of months I have not seen in that, so I was very much clear that enthalpy, system has internal energy. Okay, so right being enthalpy means we can also say that it is nothing but a system internal energy, and it is a function of temperature.
Yeah, correct. But in layman terms, you can say like entropy is the energy to do work. It is the useful energy to do work. And enthalpy is unavailability of the energy to do work. Like for an example, if you take entropy, right? So whatever heat or the combustion we are having inside the IC engine, it's entropy, and whatever enthalpy we are having, like if you have a bike and the exhaust is taking place, that exhaust we cannot use for anything. No, I'm not talking about the turbocharger, alright? That's the different prerogative. I'm just talking about the normal bikes. We cannot use it.
Uh,
Like if you rub your
also,
hand,
also we can
like
say
if
that
you rub your hand, the
straightforward
heat
answer.
will produce. You can't convert it into work, right? So that's the enthalpy.
Yeah, we have
Also,
also
we can
yes, Ritik.
also we can say straightforward answer for entropy. That it is a measure of system's thermal energy per unit temperature for doing unavailable useful work.
That's why we say q reversible. That is the use.
Exactly.
Yeah, correct.
Correct, yeah. Evito, can you search for me that the difference between entropy and enthalpy, what it says, what Google says?
Gan,
Yeah.
I'll send you one video,
Okay.
video link on the group. difference between entropy and enthalpy.
Yeah, we have
We will.
also heard of that the G, the free Gibbs energy, that is delta G. Is it that only enthalpy? See, delta H is the enthalpy, and from delta H, two things come: useful energy or non-useful energy. Okay, non-useful. So you are saying that non-useful is enthalpy. I am quite getting quite confused when you are.
Yeah. See, the thing is, whenever you say about enthalpy is unavailability of the energy to do some useful work. Like I'm giving you one example. If you rub your hand, right, so the heat will produce. That heat you can't utilize it
You
for
you
doing any
actually
work,
you
right?
actually said entropy definition, it is not enthalpy definition.
Yeah, guys, Harshal, I will cross you. Okay, you said the energy, the unavailable energy which can't be used. That is, but the explanation of turbocharger says that the heat enthalpy of exhaust gas is being used to increase the density of scavenged air.
Yeah, because you're basically extracting the heat from that air.
That is the enthalpy. Enthalpy is being used there when someone is saying that enthalpy is unavailable energy. It is creating a confusion in my mind. Ruti, your turn.
Because even heat energy can be extracted.
Yes, yes.
So
Simply also
technically
we can see
speaking,
that
if you put an exhaust gas turbocharger for your bike silencer, it should work.
Yeah. And bike silencer heat
Pardon. It was reversed. Right? Entropy is unavailability of energy to do work, and enthalpy is the useful work. Sorry, my bad.
no,
yes,
no
yes,
problem.
My bad.
that was the case.
That's why we are here now. That's why I make very sure that we don't very much become credible to each other and become every. I also cross Evito sometimes. Okay, that is the
Thank
whole
you, thank
purpose.
you.
Okay, so and earlier when we used to do meetings, and Kamlesh brother, you know, they were so having so experience, so I used to just listen only. But when I got some speaking ability, and I started that I make sure that I am not going to agree about everything. I also trust my knowledge. Okay, so entropy is the unavailable
Unavailable
Unavailability of the
sorry,
energy to do work.
yes,
unavailability
to do
of
useful work.
the energy.
Also, you can say that it is a thermodynamic property which increases with addition of heat and decreases with rejection of heat.
Yes, correct. Enability of the energy to do use. Okay, enthalpy. Yeah, entropy we have S symbol. Enthalpy which symbol? H.
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 And that Gibbs that you
Entropy,
mentioned,
they,
delta G was
uh,
delta H minus T delta S.
entropy is delta G,
Yes,
no?
yes. Delta G is delta H minus T delta S. Okay. Yeah,
So that's your Gibbs.
that T delta is nothing but uh, Q heat, Q reversible heat. Okay, Q reversible heat and delta H. Yeah, I was about to conclude something, but I think I need one revision. Okay, then I will get into this thing very much. So, the main question was the law of thermodynamics. So basically, there are four laws of thermodynamics. The first law of anyone like to explain other than me?
You start with the zeroth, right?
Okay, started with zero law. Zero law said that when a body A and B are in equilibrium and A and C are in equilibrium, then B and C will be also in equilibrium.
You have to
Okay,
mention what equilibrium. Are they in mechanical equilibrium? They will be in thermal equilibrium.
Thermal equilibrium.
guys, I need to correct that also.
Thermal equilibrium, thermal equilibrium.
There, in thermal equilibrium only,
Yes.
first law said thermal equilibrium.
Equilibrium.
There are three types of equilibrium: mechanical, chemical, thermal. Okay, yes, thermal equilibrium. Yeah, so much basic concept. Okay, thermal equilibrium. I can't say that the chemical equilibrium, no? I can't say in equilibrium only.
It just becomes like a slight inefficiency. Harshal, you're muted.
Okay.
unless it's not mentioned for us.
No, no.
Equilibrium means constant, right? So the at
If
thermal means temperature.
No, no.
Temperature is constant.
Not something like that.
You can say
and also
thermodynamic
at,
equilibrium.
at, at that point, if you forgot about this, then you can simply say equilibrium. If he asks what equilibrium, then you
No,
can
no,
say
no. You can say thermodynamic equilibrium. Don't just say equilibrium. There are different equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium, then
chemical
chemical
equilibrium,
equilibrium,
thermal
right?
equilibrium.
So you say, yeah, so you say thermodynamic
Guys,
equilibrium.
you people remember the question we used to solve in our intermediate Lech-Chatterjee principle, the chemical equilibrium questions, equilibrium Lech-Chatterjee principle. Nobody
I
remember.
have a basic concept for that. If A is equal to B is equal to C, then B is equal to C.
राम श्याम का भाई है, श्याम राम का भाई, श्याम घनश्याम का भाई है, तो राम घनश्याम का भाई.
राम और घनश्याम भाई हो गए.
Okay, okay. The
Please don't answer to Brian mistake.
I'm Brajenga sir. Yeah, I got phobia. God knows I am going how I am going to face. Okay. So, guys, the first who is going to explain first law of thermodynamics?
I would love
Yes,
to
yes,
explain.
yes.
Basically, the first law says that the heat that is given to the system by the surrounding is equal to the work done by the system on the surrounding. That is, heat and the work are mutually convertible.
Where is the internal energy gone? You didn't concluded the formula for the first law of conservation.
Can I say?
Yes, yes, Shruti, go ahead.
Yes. It first law states that heat and mechanical work are mutually convertible, and the energy can be neither created or destroyed, but transformed from one form to another.
Akhil, brother.
No, bro, I'm weak at that. Sorry.
Okay. Jack, in marine they must be teaching this thermodynamics thing, huh?
No, bro. No.
No. So first law is basically about the states that the energy is neither created nor destroyed. Okay. So if we are giving a heat to the system, it will convert into the system will work, and also the internal energy of system will increase, something like this. Okay, so the formula will formulate the outcome formula will be heat added to the system equal to work done by the system plus internal energy of the system, q equal to u plus w. Hmm?
Some people might say that even that the total energy of the universe is constant,
Ah.
and that's why
Yeah.
we can say that since energy cannot be created nor destroyed, we have that potential into kinetic. When a ball is thrown up, first it will get kinetic, kinetic, kinetic. When kinetic becomes zero, that is where the potential becomes maximum. Then as the potential starts reducing, 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 the kinetic will keep on increasing.
Okay. Avito, you have seen, you didn't give it mock to the Paneer sir, na? Mock interview.
No, no, no.
Okay. When someone asked that about energy conservation system, he suddenly asked, "Tell me about, give me some example." And I was listening that, and all of a sudden I also forget to give example. Then all of a sudden we remember that thing you just told, na? That the we are giving
Object.
giving kinetic energy at the maximum, it will have maximum potential energy, all the kinetic energy converted in the maximum potential energy. If you fall down again, potential energy will convert into kinetic energy. The no, the system energy will be saved, like conserved. Okay, so Prince sir explained like this only, you have to give this example. This is a very common example which we have learned in our primary classes. Okay.
Also, you can give
Also,
the
there is
example
one
of pendulum.
Yeah,
one
that
tricky side
pendulum.
for
Yes,
this question.
a good example. Herself, well
Yeah.
appreciated. Okay, and
For first law, there is one tricky side that it has two statements actually. First law.
two its statement.
Yes,
First law has
I'm
two.
sure about it. Yes, yes. As you said, it the energy can be neither created or destroyed. That one, and it also states that heat and work are mutually convertible. By saying this, I mean that particular amount of mechanical work is needed to produce that particular amount of heat, and vice versa.
That's what I said. Like if you're giving 100 joules of energy, you'll get 100 joules of work. That's what
Yes,
first
yes.
law said. That's the reason you get second law. That it's not like that. Direction and the quality and quantity of heat. That's second law gives you.
Yeah,
There are two
as far as
statements.
I remember that the first law says that, but the first law don't tell direction where the energy actually transfer. Second law
Correct.
gives the direction. First law state
Yeah.
thermodynamic statements. Yeah.
And also in second law, you get to know if the heat is converting into 100 joules of work or not if you're giving 100 joules of heat, right? So you have Clausius and Kelvin Planck statements in the second
Statements.
law. Correct.
What are the two statements of the first law of thermodynamics? The first law of thermodynamics, also known as the law of conservation of energy, states that the energy can neither be created nor but it can be changed from one another. Uh, the first law of statement. It don't have two statement, okay? And explaining for further explanation is like uh, no, bro. What you
If
are saying?
you have that RS Murmi book, you can also see it over there. I think, yeah, it is provided over there.
Thermodynamics.
Of course.
Yeah, 207. You know what are the good thing? Having a common goal made us friends. Okay, the love for sea and passion for becoming sailor. We don't know actually each other, but we know each other. Okay. Love. Okay, I am reading out. The first law of thermodynamics. This law states that the heat and mechanical work are mutually convertible. Heat and mechanical work are mutually convertible. And what you people say? The same thing. Mechanical
Yeah,
work.
the exact same
Energy
thing
Acco-
I
can be
said.
converted from one form to other. It cannot be created nor destroyed.
hmm. According to this law, a definite
Law of
amount of
conservation.
mechanical work is needed to produce a definite amount of heat and vice versa. Okay. And this law also states that it's
If anybody has PDF of RS Murmi, please share.
okay. I will. Yes. Okay. I will forward that in group. Somebody forwarded earlier. Okay. This law also states that the energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Through it can be transformed from one form to another. According to this law, the energy due to heat supplied must be balanced by the external work done plus the gain in internal energy due to the rising temperature. Okay. Why I was not being convinced with you guys, there was an incomplete explanation when you were saying that heat energy is getting converted into mechanical work totally. As we know, as from the second law of thermodynamics, that the 100% energy cannot be converted into 100% useful work. You're right, ma'am. You're getting me. So it is so further mentioning of that the if heat is given to the system, the mechanical work will be happen, and along with the change in internal energy that is being added. Okay, so the third component. So if you are saying that heat and mechanical work are mutually convertible, but at the same time you have to also mention that the energy neither be created nor destroyed, and also you have to formulate the formula that is
Yes, that is actually an important
um,
statement.
uh,
Yes.
because was feeling like that something you are people are lacking, that the conservation of energy is not being fully explained. If it is heat is converting into mechanical energy, Then what is the change in internal energy? Anyway, so guys, moving with the we have second law, na? So second law has basically two statement. The first one is, guys, Evito, you are not speaking in a case of thermodynamics. I think interpreter should have asked.
No, no, you are reading with IRS permission, so I just wanted to
Okay,
get the whole idea.
okay. Let me read it
Are
also.
you guys sure about that third law? I haven't read it very well. Third law of thermodynamics.
You can read from Baiju's article. Okay.
I'll
Maybe it's
say.
like this is like one of those questions when someone asks you, how many states of matter are there? We usually say three is the answer. But if you go to see, there's like much more than that. Yeah.
Right. The fourth one is
What a
uh,
good example.
Bose
Plasma and
BEC, Bose Einstein condensate. Plasma is the state of matter when there is so we created in a large volume a very less pressure the state that created inside the tube and that state is known as plasma. And Bose something was like this only, na?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
in a case of very low pressure, state of the matter we get.
or superheated, I think so also, no?
It was something like that. Rutik has left the meeting.
So,
Okay.
but basically, it's something like this where basically we think that there are only three because those are the three commonly spoken ones. So maybe that way, in terms of generally the thermodynamics, also we just talk about zero, first, and second.
Yes, yes.
But in theory, there is one more
Mm.
like the others.
But the complete is also that, no? If we have to count three, then only it will be completed. Okay. The second law of thermodynamics. This law states that there is a definite limit to the amount of mechanical energy which can be obtained from a given quantity of heat energy. Basically, it is saying that all the heat energy cannot be converted into mechanical energy. There will be some loss, okay, or vice versa. And there is two statement. According to Clausius, this law may be stated that it is impossible for self-acting machine working in a cyclic process to transfer heat from a body at lower temperature to a body at higher temperature without the aid of an external agency. Okay, you got
This
all
this
like a
reminds me of a very funny example.
yeah,
When
that
I was small,
refrigerator.
no, no,
No,
no, no,
no,
no. When I was small,
uh,
I always thought like, what will happen if I take the plug of the UPS and put it back to the UPS only?
like what? I didn't.
See, UPS battery
Yes, yes, yes,
burn power.
yes, yes, yes.
So what if I take the plug of the UPS and
I
put it
did.
back to
I actually I had did it. Nothing happened.
exactly, exactly.
Uh,
But that
Do
was
you
an
know why?
idea like, will I create infinite power?
Do you know why?
What's that? Like, why it won't work?
no, no idea.
Because there is no potential difference between them.
Yeah, making sense.
But somehow, if you touch that UPS plug, you get a shock.
That not that much
Because
song.
no, but if I'm getting a shock, that means it's AC, right?
Right.
No, it's not like that. AC can shout, DC cannot shout. It's not like that.
Okay, yes, yeah. Nobody gonna ask. Now it is unimportant thing. We are becoming an incisive professional. You know what incisive means? You know?
No idea.
No, we are. I am also working on word power, like making a vocab very strong, knowing the great words. Like contemplating, I found a new word from Avito. I will make mine also. This I will also use somewhere to show off. Okay, okay. So incisive means it is ability to understand and make understand people okay, what is for you or for others also what is actually important and what is not important. So it is a quality of a professional that I want to become an incisive professional, that I having a clear thought what is important is incisiveness. Okay, if you are if you are considering yourself an incisive professional, means you have a clear thought, okay, and what is really important, and you are able to express that thought, okay. In Hindi it means तिछड़ बुद्धि का, तिछड़ बुद्धि का, तिछड़, तीखा, एकदम तेज तर्रार.
This is some PhD level Hindi right here.
That's only okay. So coming to the again. So guys, uh, without any external aid from lower temperature body, we cannot provide the higher temperature. Anyone like to give any example where we provide some external aid and we actually do from lower temperature
VCRS.
VCRS, okay.
Heat pump.
Yeah, I have discussed a lot of time that what actually heat pumps does not. Heat pump is a kind of heater in the case of winter. Okay, it's an example of. Okay, so what actually heater does? It it gives us heat. Okay, when the surrounding is lesser heat, having low temperature. How does it? Can you?
I think the slight difference is in heat pump in the diagram. What we measure is how much heat are we sending to the sink.
Hmm.
Is it source or sink on top? I think it is source, right?
Source on top, sink on.
Yeah, to the
Yeah,
source.
source to
Yeah.
sink,
So how
source
much we
to
send
sink.
to the
From
source?
sink.
Whereas
Yeah.
in VCRS we see how much are we sucking out from the sink.
Okay. Having
Slight.
evaporator is can be also considered as heat pump, na? Analogy.
No, because
See what? Let me. Heat pump is that only, na? Heat pump and refrigerator are opposite thing. Heat
yeah,
pump. Heat pump. Let me first tell me in heat pump what happens from source to sink or sinks to source.
see, what happens is we take energy from sink, right? We do some work and we send it to the source, which is T1,
High
which is at the
temperature.
higher temperature. Yeah. So our area of interest is source. Now, if you see in evaporator, we are extracting heat from sink and we are sending it to the like to the atmosphere. You consider source as the atmosphere in case of refrigerator because we are doing work and we are extracting heat. So at the lower area, we are extracting it. So that's our area of interest, right? So if you see in the efficiency formula as well, you'll get that thing clear.
Now coming to
So that will come in the numerator.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In a case of evaporator, we actually cools the lesser temperature region. We extract heat from the atmosphere, from the surroundings. Okay.
No, from the sink, which is the defined mass.
No, we extract heat from the product we have kept inside,
That is
right?
surrounding.
That is at the
That's not
lower
surrounding.
temperature only, right?
Surrounding is
That's
around
not
the fridge.
surrounding. Around the fridge. And in case of heat pump, you are taking air from the. You are just you are getting got confused. Wait, to see the diagram.
No, no, I am also opening that Dreamer package thing.
Yeah, even I'm.
The only slight difference mentioned over there is one, we are considering how much am I sucking the heat from the sink, and in terms of heat pump, it is how much am I giving to the source.
Yes,
See,
making sense.
you can see that.
Yes.
You can see that diagram.
Yeah.
So if you see, this sink is at T1, that
Mm.
is atmosphere,
Mm.
and this source is at T2.
Mm.
So you are doing work, right? You are taking heat from here, you are doing some work, and you are sending it to the source. So our area of interest is source in case of heat pump. So see in the COP, Q2 upon W. What is COP? Now I COP is desired output upon work input. Now in case of heat pump, desired output which we want is Q2, right? And the work we are doing is Q2 minus Q1,
Mm. Making sense.
right? Right. Now in case of refrigerator, if you see, is at lower temperature. So we are extracting heat from food and we are sending it to the atmosphere. So consider force here as atmosphere, right? And here we are doing work, that is Q2 minus Q1. So if you see in COP, the area of interest is Q1. The output is Q1 and work done is Q2 minus Q1.
But in both
Get my
case,
point?
but in both case we are giving, we are using external aid, and we are transferring the energy from lower temperature to higher temperature.
High temperature.
Yeah.
So that was my question. What it was like that? Yeah, evaporator can be also called as heat pump, like a heat. Uh, but at this factor, since in a case of heat pump, our area of interest is different, and area of interest is not very scientific term, yeah. Our effect in refrigeration effect, in the case of evaporator, and heating effect, we creating a heating effect in the case of heat pump. Okay, that is the difference. We use heat pump for creating heat effect, refrigeration refrigerator for creating refrigeration effect. And that is the both the devices, both the engines, both the devices are the or from the second law of thermodynamics, or an example of second law of thermodynamics.
Correct.
Correct, Evito. In first law of thermodynamics we can discuss about that, throwing ball coming. Okay, in second law this two example. Okay, and coming
Let's
to
go to the Clausius part,
uh, that Clausius was I told, no, I am going to read it again.
and then we go to the Kelvin.
Kelvin. Kelvin 207. Okay. The second law of thermodynamics has also been stated by Calvin Planck. It is impossible to construct an engine working on a cyclic process whose sole purpose is convert heat energy into work. Means all the energy, like all heat energy cannot be converted into 100% useful work. Okay, that the Kelvin Planck,
Because of the losses.
because of there will be losses. Okay. Uh, So the first law of drawback of first law of thermodynamics is it don't does not tell about the direction of energy transfer. Okay. The second thing, it does not tell about the losses that is happening. That it does not tell about that the 100% that the heat and mechanical it tells about heat and mechanical work can be mutually convertible, but it don't tells about that it is 100% not mutually convertible. So, making sense?
Correct.
Okay. And third law is already explained by Evito, that the entropy of substance reaches to zero at zero,
Absolute zero.
absolute zero, at minus 273.14 Kelvin.
According to the constant.
Yeah, okay, all right. So guys, it's 148. If you are also, I have no problem in carrying on. Uh,
148 what?
Also, one more
148
question.
minutes now.
yeah, yeah. So we can carry on with one two question. Yeah, Harshal.
What is low grade energy and what is high grade energy?
Yes. Low grade energy is that we cannot use into a useful work, that cannot be converted into useful work. Friction is a low grade energy. Okay. And high grade energy is that solar energy is low grade energy. Avito, have you any idea or about this?
Low grade, high grade, no.
No. Low grade energy is
Heat,
yes.
heat, heat energy is the low grade energy and work is high grade energy.
Yes.
Now I'll explain how.
Okay, yes.
So heat, if you give heat to something, it won't get converted into 100 joules of work. So if you are doing work, if you three things, that is low grade energy, heat is low grade energy, and work is high grade energy.
Correct, correct, correct. See, I also knew the thing, but long ago we had discussed. It was in my mind. Now it's time to explain. If it Brajanga, he would have cancelled me, failed me on this. So these are the things on the spot using presence of mind. Yes, sir. Temperature of the evaporator is minus the temperature of the evaporator. On the basis of temperature of evaporator, he rejected a lots of my brothers that I had made a friend like you only. I am very much disheartened about that. Okay, moving to
It
the
will change according to the pressure, right? How can they say about the exact temperature?
yes, it is depend on the which refrigerator we use. It also depends on the suction pressure of the compressor.
Then how can they expect the correct answer?
Brajanga
Could
knows.
you just give them one viable answer? What is
There, yes.
at normal conditions?
Someone or you can You know, Brajanga got very much impressed when the Sambhu and Ashish said that it will actually, sir, depend on the refrigerant we use. But generally, it is like this only. Okay. He was very impressed. Brajanga asked to Ashish, "Do you know Sambhu?" Because
Sambhu?
Sambhu is another guy who told Ashish say the same thing in
Oh,
same way.
okay, okay.
Then Ashish said, "No, sir, I don't know any Sambhu." And शिव शंभू बेटा सेलेक्ट हो गया तो पापा खुश है जाने के लिए बोल रहे हैं यस सर माय फादर ऑलवेज सपोर्ट मी लास्ट क्वेश्चन ओके यार यार I am not able to imagine myself in that situation anyway what is in our hand to just do work hard getting answer try to explain who knows consequences. Prince sir was damn sure about. I have all the mock interviews of various people with me. Prince sir was damn sure about Kamlesh brother. You are going to hit. He told everything. The concept of tappet clearance. The concept of like every concept. Why the we had discussed a lot in a meeting. We generally I don't myself was very good in basics, so I don't see if I don't care much if we go in very much deep. I don't care. So we had discussed and he was Prince sir was very you are going to get selected. Yeah, he saw. Then Prince sir asked him to come Dehradun and work with me, no problem in that time. Okay. So
So
guys,
Kamlesh is working for Prince, sir.
he he got offer from Prince sir. Prince sir liked him so much. It's up
But
to
he couldn't because of other commitments, maybe.
yeah, because of other exams. He is because he lost his hope for Anglo. It's already three times.
But who's the guy? Oh, I think it was Rohit, right?
Rohit Gaikwad. Well, yeah, who's guy? Rohit Gaikwad has also a third time this time, and Jay was fourth time. No, no, Jay also third time. The guy who has the meme of that guy has been shared in group. Who said I will if I asked him if I don't select you what will happen? He said nothing sir I have already selected his challenge.
He got selected.
No.
Who was his interviewer?
4 to 7, I think.
No, who was the interviewer of him?
Brajanga sir.
How is it possible that Brakanand sir is getting everyone?
Yes, I have talked to the some of my passed out guys, my friends. They were saying that
You might have got the
it's a
interference here, right?
supply and
Yes,
demand thing.
yes.
Since Rishi Rana sir and Oberoi sir was taking flooding, okay, so they seeing that it's been already 9 months saving, and we already they are seeing that the feeling already almost January batch is being filled up. So we need some hard guys like a hard interviewer to get that. Okay. Who knows, yeah, Brajanga sir, the having bad day. is nobody's in hand, yeah. All the three guys, even it was Brajanga sir, got selected. And when I was taking mock interview of Ashish, no, I wouldn't have selected him. I wouldn't have selected him.
Ashish is your senior, right?
Ashish Dayan, no, there is two Ashish. Ashish Dayanand, one small guy. Okay, okay.
Yeah, Ashish Dayanand is the guy who asked me some stuff here and there.
Yeah, yeah.
Who
He
has his poster like next to some company in the background on WhatsApp?
Yes, yes, yes. A little guy, very much. He resonates with me. Okay, so Sandy, he troubled Sandy so lot. And Sandy was, who is this guy? I said, he is my friend. Okay, help him. He is so he has the hunger to learn. Okay, so and he was saying to me, you are not asking to me, and some other guys asking to me, see. And when he said, when he got selected and he saw the group, and he messaged me, see, this guy get selected, ask him what Sandy, what is the role of Sandy. Then I asked him, what is the role of Sandy. Then he said, Sandy का बहुत बहुत योगदान है हमारे सक्सेस में. Okay, anyway, I think I will discuss one more question, then we'll end up. Okay, laws of thermodynamics I have discussed. Pascal's law, Bernoulli principle, boiler mounting we have discussed very lots of time. Boiler different. Yeah. Now coming to this question, how one cannot be selected on this question. What is the difference between reflection and refraction? Reflection is bouncing back of light. Refraction is bending of light. Reflection, refraction, when light goes from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards normal. If it goes from denser to rarer, it bends away from the normal. Reflection, bouncing back of light, since light is uh, that for
Maybe they expected you to mention what is a black body, all of that.
black body is that body that absorbs the maximum amount of heat in it.
Yeah,
Something
is there any body that does not reflect back as such?
that is only black body.
Yeah, black body.
White, 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 white. It reflects all the colors.
White
That's why
body,
it's become red.
black body radiation, black body.
Black body is absorbs all colors, so it's black. If it's a red color means it can absorb all color, but it reflects only the red. That's why it seems like red.
Yeah, reflection. Anything more than bouncing back of
Yeah,
light in reflection?
1 second.
All right. Archal? All right.
Gayan bro, is there?
Okay. Harshal, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm there.
Anything more other than reflection of light?
There's also one more body, that is gray body, right?
What is gray body? Gray body is such that like 50-50?
It's a mixture, you can say, somewhere in between.
Yeah, it reflects and also absorbs
Then other than black body, white body, it reflects and absorbs. I don't think to mentioning it will help you more.
So basically, there's a black body, a white body, and a normal body, which means a combination of little bit of black, little bit of white.